Hi there, my name's Ian Boswell, and I've been designing video games professionally since 2005. I've been wanting to bring up some stuff in my videos, but never really found a proper outlet for it. I've been wanting to bring up a lot of stuff in my videos, mention stuff and bring up ideas and things, but I've never really found a proper channel or outlet or place to make a dedicated video just to that one thing I wanted to talk about. So I've decided to make a set of top 10 lists. Hey, whoa, wait, wait, where are you going? Top 10 lists are fun. Everyone likes top 10 lists, right? No, bear with me. They're fun because they bring up stuff you might know about, which makes you feel validated for remembering some of that stuff. Come on, give me some love here. Come on, all right, so, all right. You're gonna, remember old forgotten junk. Or there could be times when you might learn something. You might hear about a book or a movie or a video game or something you've never experienced, and there's a lot of fun. There's a lot of fun to take in. I mean, and for me, it's a great mental exercise. I get to, dig around inside my mental vault and, find obscure and awesome things, which the world just sort of forgot about. And then I get to dredge it to the surface, exposing its glistening, soapy, seaweed-covered viscera so all the world can know. It's this kind of really weird analogy. I should really think of a better analogy. This is a really weird analogy. Anyway, so I was making a top 10 list, and then I realized that there were so many things I wanted to talk about, I had to do something drastic. I had to make a top 10 list of top 10 lists. So, to cover all the crap I want to talk about, basically, without any further ado, this is...
D&B presents his Top 10 Top 10. List number 10. Fun games to play on Halloween.
Amnesia: The Dark Descent, Outlast, Anna, Slender, Penumbra, the SCP Foundation games. We heard of all the spooky games to play around this time of year. And well, this list isn't about looking for jump scares. This is a list for games which are genuinely fun to play around Halloween. And a lot of these are on sale on Steam for Halloween, so get ready to bust out your wallets and let's have us a good old Monster Mash style bash!
Number 10.
Costume Quest! Well, this one should be a no-brainer. It's by Double Fine, it's a short little turn-based RPG that harkens back to games like Earthbound but with a much shorter playtime, and it's the perfect, ideal game to play on Halloween, because you won't be spending more than one day a year playing it, and frankly, that's good enough for what it's meant to be. An awesome experience you shouldn't pass up. It's always on sale around Halloween on Steam, so go pick up a copy. I mean, come on! What more do I have to say to sell you on it? It's from the guys who made Full Throttle and Psychonauts, and you can transform into a giant unicorn! I don't know, just get it! Play it! It's fun!
Number 9.
Batman: Arkham Asylum. I can hear it now. But Ian, you're screaming. Didn't Arkham Origins just come out 2 days ago? What do you say Arkham Asylum is a great game to play on Halloween? Should we be playing the new one? Well, because of a little thing called atmosphere, children, we are going to be talking about Arkham Asylum instead of Arkham Origins. And while Arkham Origins does have atmosphere in spades, Arkham Asylum has the Scarecrow. And if there's one thing that comes to mind when thinking about games in recent years which generally freaked me out, the moments with the Scarecrow were genius. I thought the game had actually frozen up at one moment, and then everything was just off. It was the fear toxin. And then in came these bizarre, otherworldly platforming segments and bits which delve into Bruce Wayne's psyche. We get to relive the moments following his parents' death and hear from his memories of people talking about them and what to do about him. And this isn't just any Batman. This is the one from the animated series, which I personally grew up with as a kid, so that stuff cut pretty deep. It even breaks the fourth wall and messes with the player. And I know everyone likes to knock on this game because it's kind of got a boring finale, but really, the entire experience is like one long Halloween haunted house, complete with all the dark, brooding atmosphere you could ever want, getting stuck inside the worst asylum you could ever find yourself trapped in, filled with the worst kinds of insane inmates running loose. And if you're a fan of Batman, and you haven't picked up the original Arkham Asylum, now is as good a time as ever, considering it's probably dirt cheap on Steam.
Number 8.
You think I'm gonna say Castlevania? I mean, Castlevania is cool and all. I mean, I don't really even care what kind of Castlevania. They're all good in their own way. Even Castlevania 2 had some redeeming qualities, and I personally recommend Castlevania 1 because it's got that classic host of monsters, including Frankenstein's monster and other famous critters of the night. Except for one, the werewolf. And that's why my number 8 on this list is actually going to be Werewolf, the Last Warrior. When it came out, I remember everyone talking about it like it was the absolute shit. The game to end all games. I remember one guy in the back of a truck in Germany saying it was way better than Castlevania, yet no one seems to remember it anymore. I feel like it's important we don't forget about this awesome part of video game history, and what a better way to relive it than to make a video of myself playing it and then talking over it. Guess I'm just fulfilling a prophecy here. Anyway, this is one of those games which we talked about and played to death when it came out back in the 90s, but which for some reason nobody seems to have a nostalgic fit over it when thinking about it. Maybe I should do a top 10 list of obscure games like this that people just sort of forgot about. That'd be pretty fun. Anyway, in this game you play as a werewolf, who for some reason has swords for hands. It's also crazy difficult, and if you get hurt too much you turn into a man. I'd say check it out, just because of the fact you can scale the side of a building with your freaky sword arm claw things.
Number 7.
Eternal Champions, Challenge from the Dark Side. Okay, so this is a game that nobody ever talks about anymore, but I'm going to go ahead and bring it up. This game is without a doubt the most violent fighting game ever made. Mortal Kombat is like a pile of happy puppy dogs compared to this. Cosmic Carnage, a game where you have to keep fighting after your limbs get ripped off, tame in comparison to the brutal, bloody, gore-filled horror. And you can play as Death himself. That's right, the Grim Reaper is one of the fighters, right alongside an evil chicken, a dog, an owl, a snake, and a monkey. Also, I should point out that the main roster is comprised of fighters from all across human history, both future and past. There's even a Tommy gun-wielding gangster, a pharaoh, a guy with laser eyes, and all sorts of fun and crazy stuff. The best part is the stage finishers. You can actually knock people into a giant fan in some futuristic place in the desert, or get gunned down in front of the Chicago Theater during the Prohibition era, get burned at the stake in Salem, or eaten by a mother-loving T-Rex. This game is violent and fun. The combo and fighting system isn't half bad, though it's good to have a move list nearby so you can input the right commands to pull off some of the crazier moves. And for the fans of gore and fighting games, this is the game for you. So if you want something that is just a gore fest for Halloween, play Eternal Champions. You are not going to be let down. It might actually make you throw up.
Number 6.
Here's where normally I'd say something like Dead Space is pretty awesome, or maybe Monster Party, because it had that great twist and sudden tone shift. But when thinking about Monster Party, another game sort of came to mind. Eversion.
Okay,
Eversion is a happy, cheery game which, for no reason at all, takes an Earthbound-style tone shift and becomes pure, unadulterated grimdark. It's basically all about emotions. If you enter the depressed state, for instance, enemies will just lay down and practically ask for you to kill them. And yeah, there's a lot of orange and black and blood and horror and... yeah, it's perfect for Halloween! Check it out on Steam today. That's all I gotta say about it.
Number 5.
Call of Cthulhu, Dark Corners of the Earth. If you don't know anything about Lovecraft's stories, haven't read Call of Cthulhu, The Shadow Out of Time, Dagon, The Mountains of Madness, then I suggest doing all of those things this Halloween. Then resuming the remainder of this list, because, baby, you are missing out. And I know there's some LibriVox readings on YouTube, so here's some freaking links! I'm putting them up there. Just go on. I'm just gonna sit here for a moment and just, while you're contemplating and clicking on those awesome links. Are you still here? Well, okay, then let's resume. So, Call of Cthulhu, Dark Corners of the Earth, ties all the aforementioned books that I just mentioned together into a nice, neat story. You meet the great race, the Yith. They give you a sweet Yithian gun. You battle the Polyps. You battle Cthulhu's minions. You get chased down by mutant fish people in Innsmouth, literally recreating the events in Dagon, and so on and so on. This game is a Lovecraft fan's dream. Everything about it, from the look of the sweet Yithian technology, to the slimy soapstone walls, to the dark town of Innsmouth and its cult churches dedicated to worshipping the Deep Ones, this game is sweet. And of course, it's scary. Not like jump scare filled terrifying, but rather more like a lingering terrible kind of horror. The kind that's just fun after a while. So if you feel like soaking in some just good old-timey atmosphere, try this game out. However, this is not the best way to actually experience Lovecraft on Halloween. I only suggest this option if you don't have any friends to play with for...
Number 4.
Arkham Horror, the board game. Oh, you thought this list was just about video games? Surprise, surprise! No, this list is about games. So any kind of game is free to be included, and Arkham Horror is one of the most fun games I've ever played with friends. The way the game works is you're an investigator, kind of like in the Call of Cthulhu video game. You're in Arkham, Massachusetts, and everything that could possibly go wrong is absolutely going wrong. And you don't need a game master to run the show. No, the rules apply to everyone and are strictly followed. You roll using 6-sided dice, so it's not too complicated numerically like Dungeons & Dragons and a lot of other D20 games, even though I love those, especially Spelljammer. But this game is so sweet, especially if you want to have some good old-fashioned Halloween horror fun with some friends. You play the game by picking one of many starting characters, with varying attributes in the health and sanity areas. They have many special skills which they can use, and after a few turns, if you haven't closed enough portals or found enough clues on how to close those frickin' portals, then one of the ancient elder gods from Lovecraft's mythos will arrive, and it's up to everyone to try, and often fruitlessly, defeat him. Or her, if it's Shub-Niggurath. You can actually end up getting sucked into these strange alternative Lovecraftian worlds, by the way. Like, you can get inhabited by one of the members of the Great Race, or end up in the non-Euclidean halls of Real Yeth. And in some expansions, you can even take a train to Innsmouth, or watch The King in Yellow performed live on stage, much to everyone's horror. I once lost a vital game piece, wrote a letter to the creators, and they sent me a replacement in the mail for free. No questions asked. They loved knowing that their game was being played by someone. And I'm sorry, but that deserves the guys at Fantasy Flight Games a seal of awesome approval.
Number 3.
Did you think we were done with H.P. Lovecraft yet? Well, then you'd be right! Mag Runner's the best game to play on Halloween. It came out on Steam about 3 months ago. There's nothing odd or funny or weird about it. It doesn't have a Monster Party style twist or tone shift. Do not watch the trailers for it. Just go to Steam, pay $20, and offer your soul to Yogg-Sothoth. I mean, go to Steam and pay $20 and play this fun, challenging, brain-teasing puzzler which uses magnetism and will remind you of experiences had while playing games like Portal and Cube and Antechamber and Mirror Moon. You get the idea. It's one of those kinds of games. Nothing funny or weird or anything. It's good to play on Halloween because of orange and black and yeah. Oh my. Play Mag Runner Dark Pulse, or just watch us play it right here. You can click that link. Alright, moving on.
Number 2.
Vampire the Masquerade! This game is like Mass Effect with vampires! Or maybe it's more like Skyrim. Well, no wait, Skyrim had vampires in it, and werewolves. Well, this game is perfect because it's about modern vampires! And by modern vampires, I don't mean what people today are calling I'm talking this kind. Dazan Rice. So, this is an RPG. You can customize your vampire. It's in Source Engine, so it's cool and modifiable. It's got a big city you can explore and do quests in it. Its time passes will slowly. You develop a need to feed, and just like a vampire, and you have to stalk your victim and find a way to get away with murder. So, you know, just stay alive in all respect. This is perhaps one of the best vampire simulators ever made. There you go.
At last, but certainly not least, number 1.
Ghostbusters for the Sega Genesis. This game is amazing. What does it have to do with the Ghostbusters? Well, you play as them, though the ghosts you fight against are an odd mix of Japanese and Western style, like phantoms and enemies, and unlike most Ghostbusters games, though, well, it's actually genuinely fun. I got it as a kid, and I loved it. I love everything about it. The music is great, the gameplay's phenomenal, the whole thing is one giant, memorable platformer, and I can't think of a better game to list as a number one since it's based on a movie which I've made a ritual of watching every single Halloween. Now, if only they'd finished Ghostbusters 3 already. We know it's in production, I mean, come on, guys! Every Halloween without it coming out is just a reminder we'll probably have to wait another year to finally see it! Oh well. I hope you liked this video, and if you want to see more, just click that bat, what says describe on it.
I feel like I'm playing Minecraft, and I've never played Minecraft before.
Hello? Sounds like it came from the next room. What's going on in there?
Is that a scream?
Yes, that was a scream.
Well, that was odd. Okay. Huh.
7 souls who sealed the gate. 7 now in limbo.
Wait, I know the 7
7 summoned to meet their fate and open the way when the hour grows late.
Kenny,
Wow.
did we change games?
So suddenly we're playing Doom 3.
Wait, Kenny, what happened? I don't understand. This
Suddenly Doom?
the blood's still there on the wall. You were not hallucinating.
7 candidates? Help! We need help down here! Somebody!
Oh.
Okay, so that's good
Apparently-
to know.
Apparently you can die now.
That's good to know.
Hey,